collectors for the collectors and this whole deal with McFarlane Toys and with Mattel because of course things are changing within the collector community if you want to say. And DC is in a spot where both studios, I mean not studios, both companies when it comes to like toy manufacturers if you want to say, merchandise whatever, they both want the DC license. And it's interesting. I'm a collector. I like both. I like Mattel. I love what they've put out, what they've done, but I also like and I enjoy Mattel. I mean, McFarlane Toys because McFarlane Toys is a brand that you know they've been pushing out product and it's been good, and the details and like all this good stuff when it comes to articulation or whatever it is when McFarlane puts out. I like it. It's high end. It's pretty good for the prices and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna go ahead and say that it's not something that I don't enjoy. I know a lot of collectors love it. Some don't, but it is what it is. I like both Mattel and I like also when it comes to what McFarlane puts out. I really love their Batmobiles. I love that product when they put them out. I do think that they do too much Batman. It's just way too much. But as a collector, I like to have a variety, but I don't need like 1,000 Batmans in my collection. But I do like the details and especially how they've been doing, the wired capes and stuff like that. I know there's a lot of people that love those. There's other fans that don't like them. I've been always wanting those type of capes on Batmans and Supermans and whatever these type of figures are. And I know Mattel used to put them out and they used to do that back in the days and stuff like that. And now that they're going to be getting the license back, like that's a huge win for them, honestly. In the end, it's all about money. So I can't be mad at, Mattel getting the license back again just because, McFarlane has been dropping the ball. Let's be real. If you're a collector and you collect McFarlane toys, you and I can probably agree that when it comes to the distribution for McFarlane, it's been trash. It's been bad. And, since the beginning till now, it only gets worse, and I'll tell you why, because I see a lot of comments and a lot of people within the community, and they even say, they're like, yo, like we're just not happy with McFarlane Toys anymore, and it's understandable. What's up, everybody? I see y'all. I see the comments and stuff like that. Thanks for tuning in and all that. It's just look, as a collector, probably a lot of us can agree that McFarlane Toys they put out good merchandise, all right? But the thing is with McFarlane Toys is the distribution and pre-orders, they're a mess. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I did the crowdfunding for the Batman versus Superman, Batmobile. Cool, I did the first one. I didn't do all of them because I already have the figures, I have the bat signal. I don't need all that stuff. Now, I've been seeing a lot of people on the internet literally they're getting their packages and I got mine. I haven't got my package. I've been waiting since December 30, right? And today is January 6th. We're almost going to like 2 weeks and a half. It was supposed to arrive, a week ago. It got delayed. I had to reach out to McFarlane Toys and be like, yo, what's up with my order? Like I see everybody getting it and everybody's enjoying online and showing it off. And I'm like, yo, it literally took one email. And then the next day they shipped it. It just magically shipped, right? And then a week before, FedEx had the package. I mean, I got a notification from FedEx, and then they were like, "Yo, like you should be getting it in a few days." I was supposed to get it yesterday. It got delayed to today. They delayed it again, so it's arriving sometime next week. It's right now on supposedly on transit, and I have no idea. But that's what's been hurting McFarlane Toys, and a lot of fans have been going through this, and Mattel, they had their act together when it came to the distribution and stuff like that. And I get it. McFarlane put out more better toys, when it comes to like, Batman, Superman, all these, characters and stuff. And they done a variety of characters, like their line is just crazy. Mattel would put out good stuff. And now once they get the license, they're going to be focusing on the 6.5, figures. They're not going to be doing the 7-inch. I know McFarlane still has it to like sometime this summer, and that's it. It's being handed over once again to I gotta say it, but it's being handed over back to the king, when it comes to all these toys when with Mattel. I like what Mattel used to do. Like they should have never got away from the 6 inch figures just because we get with Marvel Legends, 6.5, 6 inches, depending on what figure it is, and they put out some good stuff. Like if you want 7 inch figures, then you're gonna get Diamond Select and stuff like that. But of course, or Marvel Select, whatever you want to call them. It depends. It depends on what some of the fans really want to go with and stuff like that. What's up, everybody? I see y'all. I see y'all comments. Gotham Knight. You like the McFarlane toys? Yeah, they put out some good stuff. It's just they have real shitty distribution. And it's like it's a pain in the ass, honestly. It's like Austin. What's up? What's up, Sergeant? What's up? Um, it's wild. Like we shouldn't be having to wait for so long, especially if you crowdfunded something. It's like, yo, how come all these people everywhere are getting their product? And I'm like, yo, I paid like for this shipping. You get what I'm saying? It's like it's not like I asked for free shipping, and it's like your package gets delayed. Who knows where the hell it's sitting in a warehouse, in another state. And you're like, yo, like, what's up? Like, why do I have to reach out to McFarlane or these companies and stuff like that? That's what I liked about Mattel. Mattel would they would literally have their act together in the sense of, all right, a perfect example, San Diego Comic Con 2025. All right, I'm a Jurassic Park collector, Jurassic World, whatever the hell you want to call it. Mattel has been crushing it with that IP. All right. And to anybody that collects Mattel, Hammond collection, you know what I'm talking about. The detailed articulation, all that stuff, the price point, it's good. It's worth it. Now, when they announced last year for the San Diego Comic Con, the T Rex, the Buck T Rex, that was straight up like, that was going to be like difficult to get. I was able to get one and I placed the order right then and there. I wasn't at San Diego or anything. It was an online thing. I kid you not. That all went probably on a Wednesday. They were already shipping on Friday. I was like, what? Like, what? Hell yeah. Like, I did not expect that. And, Mattel had it already on hand. So I was like, damn, that's how you do distribution. You get what I'm saying? Like, Mattel took it very serious and they're like, we know that these are collectors, they're fans, and they want their product, and you gotta pay like $80 plus shipping. I mean, it's only right. McFarlane will taxes on a figure, and yo, it's like straight up like Hunger Games. May the odds be on your favor if you ever get your product. And there's people still waiting for product from like last year, and it's like, what happens? You get what I'm saying? Like, how do you like slip through the cracks and not get your merchandise out to the people that pre-order? Like, how the hell are you gonna pre-order and then all of a sudden on pre-orders they cancel it? Amazon has done that to me. I'm sure some of y'all have gone through that, and it sucks because it's like, yo, you're pre-ordering, right? If you know you have 1,000 items to put on pre-order, stick to that. Don't say, hey, we're gonna do a 5,000, knowing that you have probably 2,000 in inventory or in back stock or whatever, and that's what you could pull in a time frame. And then the rest of the collectors are gonna be like, yo, what the hell? I never got my product. I'm still waiting for the product. So it just like, to me, is like, you know what, McFarlane? Look, I love McFarlane toys. I love their products, but I'm glad that they lost the license. I'm being honest. I'm glad that they're losing the license and it's going back to Mattel, because Mattel, when it comes to business, and they have, they're on top of their stuff, and I like that. McFarlane, they always half-ass, and it's like, lately it's getting worse because they'll give you product, right? Let's say they put out a figure of whatever it is, and they won't include accessories, they won't include certain things, but then they want to jack up the price. And now, like we're seeing, they're gonna re-release the Dark Knight trilogy, Joker, Bane, with different color or whatever, but just because they want to remilk us and say, well, we're gonna put it in the newest package, which they want to tax everybody $34.99. And I'm like, yo, these figures are now worth $34.99. Are fans and people gonna get them? Yeah, because they probably missed out the first waves and stuff from when it came out. Like, I wasn't able to get Bane. I was able to get Joker, but like, I got Batman, but with the soft cape and stuff like that. So it's things that it just makes it hard for the collector to get their product and their items, and it's like, it gets to a point where it's like people are just tired of it. So I at least for me, I'm happy that the license is finally done with McFarlane and it's going back to Mattel, because Mattel, they were doing good stuff. I really really like what they were doing, and I don't think that we really needed what McFarlane gave us, but I am thankful and grateful for what they gave us, because they changed it. They changed the toy market, and The only thing that's right now hurting everything for everybody is those price points. Those prices are ridiculous. And, of course, there's tariffs and all this trash that's going on and stuff like that. But, like when you have certain figures, for example, like the Batman that's right now at Ross showing up, I know it's a re release, but in a small package. The same with Superman 2025, those Ross exclusives, if you want to say. And there's another Superman, I can't remember which one. I've seen them multiple times, and they're like at 11.99 or something like that. That's what they should be at. I'm like, you have no accessories. I don't care if the box is big. I'm like, yo, you can literally be keeping all the collectors happy, but they're not doing that. And I'm like, yo, what's so hard to do that? If they can give Ross exclusives, I'm like, why can't they do the same thing with these other, like figures, if you want to say? They, of course, McFarlane's just trying to cash in before he's done with the license, which is understandable, but at the same time it's kind of annoying just because, as collectors it's like, damn, yo, like you're spending over 100 and probably $130, on four figures. And it's like, what the hell, like back in the days, not long ago, you could get some Marvel Legends for that price, or probably a little bit less, and you would probably get like six figures. So I'm like, damn, it's like it's crazy, um I don't know. Like how do y'all feel about that? Like, are you happy that the license is finally going back to Mattel? Are you excited for that? I am. I'm actually, excited to see what Mattel is gonna be cooking with DC again. Because before they lost the license, they were doing I can't remember the line now, but it was they ended up putting out Penguin, Flash, I don't remember which other ones. Right before the Aquaman movie came out. And those figures were pretty solid. They were like 6.5, and the details on them were nice. And I was like, okay, like Mattel's getting their act together. Like they're gonna compete against Marvel Legends, so you're getting your money's worth. And then boom, the license just went to McFarlane. We were all shocked. We were like, what the hell? Like I was one of them. I was like, damn, how are they gonna be? Because we all had that bitter taste of what those McFarlane figures were like in the late '90s and early 2000s. So people were like, damn, speculating how shitty they were gonna be. But then McFarlane changed the game. So I was like, man, you know what? Yeah, I really don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of like in a situation where I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of like fed up of McFarlane, just because like my freaking order hasn't arrived, and it's like I had to go out of my way to contact them and be like, yo, like when's my order shipping out? Like seriously, it's been sitting for a week. Like I've been patient. Like I'm very patient. But then I'm like, yo, like I paid for this. How come everybody in the internet, they're all eating and enjoying, and I'm like here, like, yo, where's my order? Like, it hasn't even shipped. And Mattel, like, they're on point. They move fast. They care about the customer and stuff when it comes to that point. McFarlane is just straight up, he cares about it, but I don't know if it's like the shitty team that he has working on his on his payroll or whatever. It's like they don't care. They're like, yo, we don't care. We really don't care. So it's like it just messes everything up. Jack, what's up? What's up? Let's see. Let's see. No, I didn't go to San Diego. That was just last year when they did the pre-orders and stuff like that. Yeah, I heard about the Blade movie getting canceled from Disney. Who's excited for Avengers Doomsday? I think a lot of us are. And Secret Wars, hell yeah, hell yeah. Marvel had one job, but they can't crack the code making a Blade movie. Yeah, damn, freaking Blade movie, man. That movie is straight up cursed, man. It's haunted or something. Um, yeah, it looks like they want to keep what is it? Games will keep close money. James Gunn's DCU. Mattel made the Snyderverse merchandise. I don't remember. Yeah, yeah, that's true, Austin. I have all of them. I have all the figures, from Suicide Squad, and not all of them. Some from Suicide Squad, but I got all of the whole main line, including the variants from Justice League from 2017 when they put it out. Batmobiles. I'm waiting for the newest one from McFarlane to arrive so I could do a review so y'all can see it and stuff like that. Um, all right, so comic book cast. He was talking about Robin and Matt Reeves Batman 2. James Gunn might lose Robin. Yeah, I really don't, like I said, I'm not really interested right now anymore with DC and stuff. Mattel produced action figures based on the Snyderverse, part of the DC multiverse. Yeah, yeah, I got all of those. The same thing with the movie Masters with the Dark Knight Rises. I mean trilogy. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I have some of those too. Most recently, McFarlane Toys has released extensive lines of collector focused figures specifically branded for Snyderverse and Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yeah, yeah, big time. I got them. The same thing, like I had to get them just because hell yeah, you got to show support for it. You think GTA will get delayed again? Yeah, most likely. I think GTA 6, honestly, Jack, is going to be released with PlayStation 6 at this point. They're not. Look, the thing is with GTA, they fired a bunch of people because they were leaking out, like videos and footages to like different, I guess, YouTubers and streamers and things like that. So they just fired a whole bunch of people, and that's what's delaying now the production. So yeah, who knows now when they're gonna bring it out? I think probably for PS6 at this point. Just bring back Wesley Snipes. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he's already there. I don't know what's so hard to make a Blade movie. It's that simple. Just bring Wesley Snipes. Yep. I just don't know what's going on. You think Mr. Fion? He all right person. YouTube. Yeah, I seen some of his videos. It's all right. MCU Blade got canceled. That's another reason why I've lost your confidence in Disney and Marvel. But they're trying to focus on something with Midnight Suns. I guess it's more of a darker, if you want to say more demonic, satanic type of universe that I am not going to support and watch that shit. Honestly, hell no, I don't mess around with that shit. Honestly, hell nah. Like if that's what they're trying to do, you can count me out. I am not interested in that. People don't get more GTA 5 online. They want GTA 6. Yeah, people want GTA 6. I agree with you. I really agree with you. But yeah, man, like getting back to this whole thing with McFarlane and Mattel, like Mattel puts out some good product. I'm not gonna lie. They really have been crushing it with the Jurassic World line. And I collect all of those figures that they put out and stuff for the most part. When it comes to the Hammond collection, I try to collect all of them, if not, ones that really catch my eye. Um, McFarlane Toys is just they're a mess. They put out good product, but they are a mess. And then they end up at Ross. So it's like, yo, like, like I just literally like from RossCon 2025, literally bought a whole bunch of crap from McFarlane at freaking Ross. So it's like it tells you, it's like, okay, you guys apparently are not doing that good, and especially when they're doing Ross exclusives, that makes the company, I guess Warner Brothers, because they're the ones that tell McFarlane what to put out. It hurts them. It hurts them financially. So again, why put out certain products that that it's gonna be hard for the consumer to get? That Batmobile that was crowdfunded, that should have been available to everybody. It should have never been a crowdfunding product. That should have been available for everybody. But again, this is just WBB and WB, I guess. With the price of RAM these days, the PS6 might be delayed also. Yeah, yeah, that's what I've been hearing also. I would not be surprised. You think Marvel will bring Nicolas Cage back for Secret Wars? Yeah, they're gonna bring everybody. Austin, yeah, they're gonna bring everybody. Secret Wars, I'm telling y'all right now, we are not ready. We are not ready. Doomsday is just a glimpse of what's to come. It is going to be massive, like massive. If you're not familiar with Secret Wars and what it brings, I'm telling you right now, picture everybody, literally everybody with a variant. There's gonna be different versions of Venom, Spider-Man, freaking X-Men characters, everybody. Wolverine, we already seen two. We've already seen Henry Cavill, and we already seen Hugh Jackman. That's already two. They're gonna bring more. You're gonna see. We're gonna see X-23 also. That's three versions. Hulk, She-Hulk, all this. You're gonna see Green Hulk, Gray Hulk, Red Hulk. Watch Secret Wars. If at the rate that they're going, they need to make Secret Wars Part 1 and Part 2. That was the original plan that they had. So I would not be surprised if that's what's going to happen. But yeah, Secret Wars is going to be massive. Do you care GTA 6? Don't want to get canceled GTA. Look, man, at this point, people are just kind of fed up with GTA and Rockstar. So I don't know. I don't know, honestly, what they're going to do with it. McFarlane all the way. Mattel was trash with DC. Nah, I disagree, Raheem. Look, McFarlane has been good, but they have shitty distribution. That's the thing that I don't like. And the price hikes, oh my god, that is crazy. Mattel wasn't all that great, but they put out some good stuff. I like what they did with DC when it came to like, movie masters and what they did with the Snyderverse and with David Ayer's Suicide Squad from the time and stuff. And Aquaman, the first Aquaman movie. And they even put out, I think it was a Shazam figure that with the doctor. I can't remember his name is. But I only got Shazam just because, and that was pretty much it. And then the last thing I remember buying from Mattel before they lost the license was that Penguin, that Danny DeVito. that it was like, I think it was some collector's edition platinum, and I don't remember now, but whatever. Those figures, they were pretty decent, But then McFarlane just changed the game, honestly. You really need to start the collection again. Yeah, man, get into your collection. You don't have to go all out, but collect what you like. I know some people collect certain things, so it's all a personal preference if you want. I'm too deep in this collection thing, if you want to say so. I collect not a lot of things, but I'm very selective on what I collect now, and I got rid of a bunch of stuff just to like reduce the collection that I have now. And like it just depends on what I'm gonna like straight up collect and things like that. Look, now that we're talking about collection, I think I want to just show y'all so y'all can see real quick. Like, this is what some of my collection is about. Like, I'm not gonna put too much detail, but I'm just gonna show y'all real quick. Just because so y'all can see. Let me show y'all so y'all can see some of my collection. This right here, like I shown y'all before in the past. This is my personal collection when it comes to the Bayformers. That's just that on that part. I have also with Marvel. So if you ask yourself, oh, you only collect DC? Nah, look, I collect also Marvel, but I'm very selective. You see, like, I'm more into like robots and Iron Man, Batman, but these type of things, like that's just my thing, like I said. So everybody's collection is gonna be different, but this is just like some of the things that I'm into and stuff like that. So when it comes to my collection, the same thing when it comes to like Power Rangers and stuff like that. Like, I'm a collector of different things. I don't like just one thing. I'm very selective on the stuff that I have within my collection, just because like, I know everybody has a different type of way of collecting, and this is my G2 right here, collection from the Transformers and stuff like that. I do have a lot of Transformers. I don't like the retro stuff. I just like more the modern stuff when they're putting them out, and depending on what it is and stuff like that. But again, there you can see, and here's my DC stuff. Some of the figures, from like the you know from what I have already and things like that. So these are some of the figures that I have within the things that I tend to collect. You can see McFarlane. You can see some of the the basic figures, nothing fancy. Have Play Arts Kai, Hot Toys Harley. So it all depends. It all depends on what I'm collecting and stuff like that. So this is my little peaceful area, if you want to say so. Like, I'm just pretty much sharing with y'all and stuff like that. This is just some of it. Yeah, I do. You're right, Raheem. I need to get a Starscream. I don't have a Starscream at all in my collection. I do need to get one. You are right. I really do. Like, just because like, I'm just showing y'all. Like, then up here I got my Titans and stuff like that, and I got that big Batman. I actually got that one at Ross, so that was a steal for like $10. You can see my freaking the Titans all the way in the back and stuff like that. So you know this just shows you I have a mix. That's a knockoff right there. Just some bootleg robot. So it just shows you that I'm into all these type of like robots and mechs, if you want to say so. That's my guilty pleasure right there. Yeah, I got that Transformers Optimus Prime helmet. That's from like when the movie came out and stuff. It actually still works. And you see, that's another knockoff right there, that orange one. So this is, like I said, it's my little fun spot, if you want to say so. Like, this is where I get all my inspiration, and when I make my videos and things like that. So that's yeah, that helmet right there, you can see it's an actual, you could wear that thing, but I don't wear it. I just keep it on the wall and just have it there on the display and things like that. But this is, like I said, this is a hobby that I really enjoy. And like, when it comes to it, it's just it's pretty cool. It's never the knockoffs. You can't hate on the knockoffs. Honestly, it's just something, like I said, that I like to have in my collection. Just because if it's cool, I'm gonna buy it. I know everybody doesn't see it like that. Some people just, they collect those knockoffs only, but you know I just like a little bit of everything within it and stuff like that. Do you remember wearing Halloween Transformers costumes? Nah, I never wore it. Nah, man. I just have the helmet just because. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get a Starscream. Actually, I know I need one in my collection. McFarlane Nightmare Batman is better than Mattel Nightmare Batman. Yeah, big time. I agree with you. I agree with you. The details on McFarlane are they're pretty good. You know that I do give it to him. They are really really good when it comes to that. I actually do have, like literally like on my wall, like I have all the not all, but like most of them and stuff like the McFarlane toys and stuff like that. I do collect turtles, not everything, but it's just a variety of things that I do have within my collection and stuff like that. Um, it's just fun. It's a hobby, that I actually I enjoy it for years. The knockoffs be kicking Hasbro designs. Yeah, yeah, they do. They really do. I'm surprised how these knockoffs be having these designs that I'm like, damn, that looks better than the original thing. It's like I really do. I know that like you saw that Devastator that I had, that knockoff, that orange one. Some of like I think it's like three of those bots I had to order from AliExpress, and it came from literally I think from like Singapore or something like that. I don't remember now. And the other three, I think I bought them like at Didi's or something. But the thing is, to me, that design looks a lot better than the more recent one and stuff like that. And I have some fans that they're like, nah, like you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, yo, I like that design. Like it's just much more badass. I don't know what can you do. But just some people are like that and stuff. Government Hollywood is worried Netflix to buy WB and the theaters streaming. They might have to pretty much get into the studio. Yeah, yeah, that whole thing with the sale and stuff like that. Yeah, man. Who knows what's gonna come from this? But just know one thing: they are going to drag. Literally, they're going to drag this sale. This is not gonna happen, and it's not gonna be over overnight. This is going to take some time, and it's just gonna keep on dragging. Like, yeah, we're in this for a while. Like, this is not gonna happen overnight. I don't think we're gonna hear the end of it this year. It's just gonna keep rolling and stretching out, and who knows what's gonna come from all of this, honestly. You have a huge Devastator knockoff green that is bigger than Hasbro Devastator. I think I know which one you're talking about. There's another one too that's even bigger than the one that you saw here, the orange one. So yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about. I forgot which is that one. I think it's the TF Safari or something like that, right? I'm not sure if that's the one. Or if that's where it's from. I don't remember. I know it's huge. Like, yeah, those are pretty dope. If Netflix deal with WB doesn't go through, Netflix is going to be in serious hot water. Yeah, I think they're already in hot water. All it is just we have to see what's gonna come next, and once the government steps in, we'll see what's gonna come from there. Like I said, they're gonna drag this for a while, so I wouldn't be surprised. You still have Transformers figures that your parents got you on your 11th birthday. They're a bit beat up, but you cherish it. Nice. Sometimes that's how it is. I know I have some probably when I was a kid. I can't remember now, but I know I have some that are still in my collection, like when I was a kid and things. And yeah, they have and they hold sentimental value. So I know exactly how you feel on that. Is the memories. I guess that's where the nostalgia comes in. So that's pretty cool. You got the third party Menasor where you can change the leg cars from the back to the front. Oh, nice, nice. Skydance is not giving up on the WB sale. Yeah, they're not. They're actually still trying to get it, and it's gonna be interesting. We have to see how far this is gonna this is gonna stretch out. I'm kind of tired of it. Like I said, that's why I'm kind of taking a little break from WB and DC just because, like it's just like everything is just speculation. I'm kind of getting tired of just speculating. This is why you guys are seeing me talking about different things, and of course now more a little bit within Marvel, the MCU, and all that stuff. I still love DC. I just don't like DC currently. I'm just not interested in it and stuff like that. But I'm telling y'all right now, Marvel's gonna kick ass. They are already starting to. I'm telling y'all, when that Super Bowl ad comes up next month, oh man, that's it. It's game over. It's game over for James Gunn, the DCU, and all this crap that they're trying to put out. Nobody's going to be interested in that, honestly. Um, whichever buys WB, leave it as a standalone studio. Yeah, they should. You're not gonna watch Man of Tomorrow, Batman 2. They have two Batman actors for confused. It's not good. Yeah, yeah, it's confusing. It's very confusing. Did you hear about Paramount taking legal actions against WB? Yep, yep, I heard about that. We're gonna see what's gonna come from that. We'll see how far that's gonna go. Light skin, what's up? Uh, yeah, Sassy still rejecting Skydance. Yeah, it's clear. It's clear now. This is no longer about money. Because remember, he was like, "Oh, it's all about money, and I want the highest bid, and blah blah blah." Yo, he's so full of it right now. Honestly, you think the Netflix deal is gonna go through? Yeah, the Department of Justice might try to rat fuck the deal since Paramount is close to the president, but I can't see a judge siding with the government on this. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know anymore what's gonna happen. If it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, I don't know. You're gonna be taking a break from Disney starting on Monday. Cool, cool. I don't blame you. I know a lot of people are feeling the same way. You think Michael Bay would try to do TMNT again? I hope so. I really hope so. Honestly, I really hope he does come back for one last one. It will be nice. I also have a shit ton of wrestling figures, like boxes. Oh, now wrestling figures I'm not into. Like I used to be when I was a kid. Not no more. Honestly, I just can't. You have a DX9 Rodimus Prime, where his trailer is a part of him and his gun transforms as well. Got it at AliExpress. Nice, nice. How's the quality on that one, Raheem? Is the quality pretty good, or it's pretty shitty? Because I know on some of these knockoffs they be having some shitty quality, but there's some knockoffs that have some good quality, and I'll be like, damn, like they fool me for an authentic one. As of right now, Netflix is not a studio competitor in the theatrical business. Nope, no, they're not. James Gunn fans, they want too much. The new Batman DCU, they forgot Matt Reeves Batman that sucks. Yeah, it's not about money. It's about him staying at WB, which Netflix promises him. Yeah, yeah, he's just trying to have that control. That's all it is. Yeah, but even the WB shareholders don't even trust Paramount as well. Yeah, yeah, they're all starting to doubt each other. Zaslav knows that the Paramount wouldn't keep him. He's trying to go all out on Netflix. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you, Austin. That's what it is. Zaslav is just trying to have as much power at WB while he still can. Paramount needs to win the shareholders, and what? And they are nowhere close to being on board. Yep, I'm sure it's all a mess in that on that board and stuff. You can imagine the meetings and things. GTA 6 is really sad for people. Yeah, it's only sad because they keep on delaying it, so we all want it. Let's be real. Who really cares about Matt Reeves' Batman 2? I know I don't. I'm still pissed off with Disney about Tango already getting a live action remake. You hope it gets destroyed at the box office severely. Oh man, oh man. The quality of DX9 Rodimus, it's fire. You had the toy for 2 years. Oh, nice, nice. That's pretty good. Um, yeah, and there's so much things coming out right now, like not just with Transformers, but with McFarlane, with Mattel. You have all these companies, like third parties also. Like I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I want to get that new in art Batman Arkham Origins figure, but damn, $164 is not it, man. I'm telling you right now. I'm like thinking and rethinking, do I get it or do I not? I'm like, yo, that's way too much. Like for a freaking what is it, a regular like 6, 7 inch figure? I'm like, damn, like damn, they really taxing on it. Um, all right, let's see. If someone offers me 108 billion, I'll take it and happily pack my bags. Yeah, yeah, I would too. Shoot, 108 billion? Say no more. Here you go. Where do I sign? Let's go. You like the DX Rodimus over Kingdom Rodimus? Oh, okay, nice, nice. If that one's better than that one, cool. That's good. I've never been a fan of Rodimus, so I'm like, I've passed on him several times. Paramount actually was the first bidder that offers Zaslav a co-CEO position. Interesting. If it goes to Netflix or Paramount, Zaslav will be staying on board. Yeah. Yeah, and we're trying to get him off the board. Your brother's watching football right now. Cool, cool. Tell him I say he enjoys. I'm not into any sports, so I just can't even say that. I hope who wins. McFarlane's in the process of making absolute Batman figures. That would be interesting. I would not be surprised. I know Hot Toys are the first ones to finally announce it, so that's looking awesome. Um, I know they also announced the Arkham Origins Hot Toys. That one I think I'm gonna be getting. I think that's gonna be my second Hot Toys in my collection. The only one I have right now currently is Harley Quinn, like you just saw. And that's pretty dope. I freaking like it. But I think I'm gonna get the Arkham Origins. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to do it. Like I really, really want that one. Do you think Paramount will win at the end of since they're not giving up? I don't know. I honestly don't know, Thunderbolt 935. I really don't know. It's a very interesting question. In the end, we don't know who's gonna win. Like I don't even know what to think anymore, honestly. You love Hot Toys, but they're a bit expensive. A bit, they're extremely expensive. That's why I don't mess with Hot Toys. The only reason I got this Hot Toys because somebody actually gave it to me, as a gift, like probably like I think like 2 years ago or something like that. You know, I had a friend that he was like, "Hey, you want it?" I was like, "Yeah, you don't want it?" They just gave it to me, so I was all right, cool, cool. Can I'm not arguing. So, you know, you want to get an absolute Batman toy? Yeah, I know a lot of people want that. I know there's a lot of I think there's one that somebody made custom, and that's pretty cool. So yeah, once they drop the real one, I know a lot of people are gonna get it. I don't think I'm gonna get it because, like I said, I'm not a fan of that version of Batman. Um, yeah, but I'm really not a fan of it. Transformers Sam, they should have the son played by Asher Angle from Shazam actor. Mm, I don't know how to feel about that one. Hot Toys is trash after the Flash blue and gray Batman figure. Oh my god, that's a horrible toy. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. The one with the eyeballs that they were looking all funky and the forehead. I was like, yeah, man. Like, why would Hot Toys do that? Seriously, like I'm like, damn, like that. That's almost looking as bad as like when McFarlane would put the figures looking sideways. I was like, yo, why are you putting your figures looking sideways? You know, it's like make them looking forward. You know, it's like, yo, it's like, yeah. I think Hot Toys really screwed that one up big time. Yeah, that Michael Keaton, the blue and gray. Yeah, it looks creepy as hell. I don't want that in my collection. Honestly, I'm like, nah, hell no. Um, if the live action remake of Tango gets a release date, we'll keep our wallets closed. It really against freaking Disney, man. David Zaslav don't want to go back to Paramount again about money. Yeah, because I think what it is if he goes back to Paramount, they're gonna get him off the board, and he wants to stay on the board. So he just wants to have that control and things like that. Let me see. I hope in the next Transformers film we get Sam's son Daniel. Make it happen. We need Daniel. That would be cool. That would be seriously. I'm not familiar with who Daniel is, but like I said, I want to see Sam with Wiki. Like you're saying, like a more adult, grown up, type of character within the story and stuff like that. Poly Market, betting market has Netflix closing the deal with 57%. Certainly. Paramount is at 34 and it's quickly dropping. Yeah, I mean they could predict. Everything is just predictions right now. But in the end, like I said, everything has to do with what the Department of Justice and the government wants to say, and they're the ones that are gonna have the final call. So we'll see what comes from there. I mean, all these companies and like they could be predicting that one or the other. At this point, everything is just speculation. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Tango looks awful. The cast, Daniel Spike and Carly's son. Oh, okay. Damn, I had no idea. Honestly, that's interesting. I learned something new today. Thanks to y'all. Damn, interesting. So let me get this straight. So Spike and Carly's son. Okay. So Cardi, I mean, would she be back? Like, how would that play? Like how would Megan Fox fall into play with that? Like with the story like that? Are they just like divorced, separated? Like, who knows? Baby mama drama. That would be interesting. Let's see. Do you think Ratchet will come back? I was upset when they killed him off. I think so. I think Ratchet. We're probably gonna get a new version of him, along with Jazz. That would be cool. I think so. I mean, if the Allspark was able to revive and bring back Optimus, who's to say that they can't do the same thing? For Ratchet and Jazz, that would be cool. Like a newer version of them, of course. I think they could pull it through. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Y'all never seen the 1986 Transformers movie? While asking me who is Daniel, and you say you're a Transformers fan. Well, I'm a Transformers fan, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I've never seen the '86 film because I'm like I've never cared about it like that much. Even when they re-released it, I still don't care about it honestly. But I have seen the little humans here and there, and like some of the clips and things like that. But it's never caught my attention. I'm more of a Bayformers fan. So let me let me be more specific. I'm more of a Bayformers fan when it comes to Transformers and stuff like that. Restore Snyderverse all day. You already know it. Do you think people don't need Sergeant Rock and Swamp Thing about James Gunn's DCU? They should just give up. Yeah, I don't even know why they're even focusing on those characters. Honestly, like not there's not enough demand for that. Daniel appeared in Transformers animated film 86, which turns 40 this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they re-released that movie again, and probably if they re-release it again this year, I'll probably go see it. Because I know a lot of people say it's good, but like I said, I just never cared about it enough like that. Yeah, I'm very picky with my Transformers. Like I like the G1 and stuff like that, not as much, but when the live action films came out, then yeah, I got hooked on those things instantly. Um, we need Jazz back before Ratchet. Yeah, 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 man. What they did to Jazz was just pretty. That was pretty messed up, man. Freaking. But that's Megatron. Rip them apart. Mr. H review and comic book cast guy. They might end their YouTube about James Gunn leave DC. Yeah, people are tired. People are tired, honestly. Not sure if this is how you pronounce it, but ESK8 Unity. What up? What up? Thanks for tuning in. Also, you've been obsessed with Transformers since the first live action movie. You were 7 at that time. Oh wow. Okay, nice man, nice. Yeah, I'm telling you. Look, I've always liked Transformers, but even as a kid, I wasn't a fan of G1. I just wasn't because even as a kid, I don't know if it's the creative side of me. I wasn't a fan of those big block Transformers. Like back then as a kid, I knew that they were shitty. I was like, those things are ugly, and I was like, I just wasn't into them. I was more into DC, Kenner, Jurassic Park, and growing up with that. Then Power Rangers came on. I completely didn't even care about Transformers anymore. And I started caring about Transformers when we got the live action in 2007. And then before that, I know that we were seeing Beast Wars. That was shitty. Like the animation back then to me as a kid, I was like, this is shitty. Like I just didn't get into it. I couldn't get into it. And I tried, I just couldn't. The animation was just so bad that I just couldn't get into it. And I know it has a huge fan base. But that's the good thing about being Transformers fans, that we can enjoy and like what we like. Like we're not like how DC fans sometimes could be, where it's like, oh well, if you're not down with Snyderverse, you're not a real fan. If you're not with Matt Reeves, you're not a real fan. Like we're constantly arguing. It's like, like yo, like why is it always something? But it is what it is. And Transformers, like we could talk shit and we'll be like, all right, cool, whatever. Like I don't know. I just don't know. But once Michael Bay came on board and he brought us the Bayformers, I was like, yo, what? Like this is a whole different a game changer. Like I yo, it flipped me. Like I was like, hell yeah, like, and ever since I've been hooked. I've been hooked. Spock voiced Galvatron. Um, you have no doubt it will be a re-release. It will be re-released in theaters. Don't sweat it. With not seeing it, not every fan has seen it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's just I'll probably give it a chance this time if they do. If not, I'll probably like I'll see it wherever they have. If I have to pay for it, so be it. But I'll probably check it out just to be like, you know what? I finally saw it for once. Clayface will go for a comedy joke. Yeah, it's gonna be rated R, but it's gonna be just like Peacemaker. It's gonna be full of jokes. Just got in. I just revisited Rise of the Beast. It's actually not as bad as I thought, but 1 to 4 is amazing. Name is Eastgate Unity. Oh, okay. All right, cool, cool. Yeah, 1 through 4. Honestly, with Michael Bay, Chef's Kiss. Chef's Kiss. That's where it's at. And look, now that we're kind of still topping on the topic of Transformers real fast, a lot of fans misunderstand when I say like I love what Michael Bay did, just because look at the following. The first 3 movies is a trilogy of its own. Even with the music, they had Linkin Park, they have Sam Witwicky, Michaela. I mean, what happened with this other girl? It is what it is. But that was a trilogy with that cast. What they did with the second, it was supposed to be the second trilogy, was 4, 5, and 6. That we still didn't get 6, whatever. With 4 and 5, they were focused with Imagine Dragons. They didn't bring them back for the fifth one, which is unfortunate. But what is it? Age of Extinction, the fourth one, that was a badass movie. And when the Dinobots came out, I was like, damn, I don't care if it's not accurate. I love these designs. I love what they did with that. It just took it to a different level and things like that. And I understand and I respect fans that are like, yo, Michael Bay didn't understand Transformers. I understand. I know exactly how you feel. But when it comes to live action, not everything has to be exactly like how we saw in the cartoons. And I appreciate that Travis Knight did that with Bumblebee, but it just didn't work. And we saw that a little bit also in Rise of the Beast, and of course we saw in Transformers 1. without humans, and unfortunately it just didn't work. And let's be real, with Michael Bay, they were making money. They and it is what it is, I guess, at this point. Clayface is gonna have daddy issues. Yeah. Watch Transformers the movie and how the way Starscream died. It will blow your mind. Yeah, I've heard about that. I'm gonna have to check it out for sure. Then y'all convincing me to go see, to really watch it and stuff. Speaking of which, am I the only one that loves Pacific Rim? What? I love Pacific Rim. Hell yeah. The second one I didn't enjoy that much, but again, revisiting it, it was good. Yeah, the first one, of course, is the best one, especially when the music kicks in. When they're in the ocean, freaking fighting and stuff like that. I love the first one, especially all the details and things. Like I saw that one in the theaters, amazing, amazing. I saw the second one in the theaters also, and at that time, I got it through a private screening with Warner Brothers and stuff like that. So like I said, my relationship with WB is kind of it's like one of those sour, bitter type of I like you, but at the same time, I can't stand you. Just because like I saw Batman versus Superman, through a private screening with them, Pacific Rim with them also, that I can remember. I don't know what else I've seen with them. So I got my little plugs here and there and stuff like that. But the second film, it just it didn't feel the same. I only like the robot parts, and I think they dropped the ball with the music. They didn't have the original, the music score from the first film. Like, how do you have Pacific Rim and not bring in the main theme of what Pacific Rim is? It's like, damn, like that's so badass. When you hear the song just kick in, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun, it's like, yo, hell yeah, like they're gonna go at it and stuff like that. So I did like the second one. It wasn't all that, but it was still enjoyable. That was it was still fun. Do you think Transformers One was too friendly? Yeah, Transformers One is just way too. It was just way too kiddie-ish, honestly. Like that's why a lot of fans didn't really go see it. Unfortunately, it was just way too. It was just a kids movie, and I like what they did with it. It just wasn't for me. Like I know that it has a little small fan base, but it just wasn't for me. I just couldn't relate with it. Beast Wars, it was more of the storyline than it was with the CG animation, which people loved. Yeah, yeah, because at that time the animation was like, oh wow, it's like freaking, it's the future and stuff. And look at where we are right now with freaking AI and stuff like that. Ironhide also needs to come back. Oh, that's true. I forgot. Yeah, they did take him out too. Yeah, he needs to come back too. Yeah, I think they'll bring all of them. That would be nice. That would be. Honestly, the last night is ass. I can respect that. It is, but when you look at the parts when they're fighting and you try to concentrate on the story, like I rewatched it recently. Just rewatch it and give it a chance and give that a chance. And I'll tell you why. It's you can clearly see that the last night is just like how WB was treating Snyder. It was just so many people telling him what to do, what to put, what not to put, what to go with, what all that crap. You can clearly see it. And Michael Bay was working with what he could with that film. So he did what he could, but in the end the movie still came out a mess. But I appreciate when you focus on the highlights because it's setting up Unicron. It's touching past events and it's preparing us for what's to come in future events. They wanted to do something like Marvel with Avengers, but they just performed it really bad. So yeah, and then they threw in the whole medieval thing. So I was like, yo, where are we right now? Like in the timeline. So again, you can see that it was a mess just because you could see a lot of people that were like trying to tell the director what to do and stuff like that. So I don't know. That's they could still redeem it. I get it. Some people are like, oh well, Unicron's not Earth, and I get that. But I think at this point it's already set up. I kind of want to see that. Like I want to see that in the next film and stuff to see what Michael Bay can continue from there and stuff like that. You think Avengers Secret Wars will have all the cast and multiverse? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. They're gonna go all out with Secret Wars, I'm telling you. I just wasn't feeling Bay giving Prime lips. Yeah, the lips. I didn't like the lips either. It just fell off from Prime having lips. Yeah, I don't like the lips. I agree with you. That's why I like when he has the mouth guard. It's just like I don't want to see them talking. The same thing with Wheelie and Rise of the Beast. Was it Wheelie? I don't remember that dude. The little Volkswagen. Was a little bus. I can't remember his name. With the dude with the big glasses or whatever. Like the lips. I can't stand the lips on the robots. I just can't. I never liked that. Thank you. Age of Extinction was badass. Yeah, it was. I really liked it. I really like it, especially the music and It's just fun. That's all it is. It's just a fun, silly movie. It doesn't have to be 100% accurate to what the hell it is. I was just like, I enjoyed it. No such thing as 100% authenticity from book or film or animation to film. Yeah, exactly. Not that it's never 100%. Transformers 1 to 4 is perfection. Yeah, I agree with you. Do you think Marvel Studios will not cast new actor Wolverine about Hugh Jackman? Yeah, they're not gonna recast nobody. Right now, no. They're just gonna focus on Hugh Jackman, Henry Cavill, and this girl. What's her name? Daphne, whatever her name is. Um, what is it? X-23. That's what they're gonna be focusing on right now for moving on and stuff like that. Those we're gonna be seeing a lot of them. The fight between Prime and Megatron is a highlight. Yeah, which one though? Because remember they fought on Dark of the Moon and Revenge of the Fallen, and I think they fought in the first one too, semi a little bit. But yeah, the fights of them, oh man, it's freaking amazing. I love the one on the third one. And that forest scene, shoot, man, who would have thought a forest scene would have looked so badass? Watch the second one again. It's actually good. Pacific Rim. I have to rewatch it. I actually have to. I have the first one in the collection, but I have to. I might add the second one too, just because. I would love to see a Pacific Rim versus Godzilla, the MonsterVerse. That would be nuts. Pacific Rim, just like ID4 in the Matrix, should have been a one and done movie. Yeah, some movies need to just leave it at one and that's it. Don't even go with anymore. WB needs new CEOs. David Zaslav, he's crazy. A person in Hollywood. Yeah, yeah, big time. Anaconda crosses 100 million globally. What the hell? How? Make that make sense. Pacific Rim tied up everything. Yeah, yeah. Do you what is it? Do you in your collection have Joker and Darkseid? Yeah, I have Joker and Darkseid. I have a few different ones. Not a lot. I have a few. I only have right now two Dark Sides in my collection. The one from Zack Snyder, from Mcfarlane, and the other one from Task Force. I think Justice League Task Force. My shipment just arrived today, so yeah, I actually have the platinum version, the one with the funky colors, if you want to say. So yeah, I got that one. The with the Build a Figure, I have that now. What is it? Have you heard Power Rangers reboot on Disney Plus? Yeah, I'm kind of worried about that just because it's Disney. I don't know what to expect from it honestly, but we'll see. We'll see what they're gonna put out. Hopefully they do something good. But I don't know. It's Disney, so we're gonna see a Disney fight Power Rangers IP I guess now. So I don't know. Transformers 5 with the Butler and his master. Way too much forced humor. Yeah, yeah, that was stupid. I agree with you. That was very very stupid. Like that was like, damn, like that was so stupid. I was like, I agree with you. Too much humor. Yeah, yeah. They were trying to be like Marvel, just trying to add too much. Transformers fan G1. The wrong people for the movie. Not work. Need realistic alien robots. Yeah, with the cartoons and stuff like that, it works. But live action, it just has to be honestly like it. I like the realistic take on it. Like Shockwave in what is it? In Dark of the Moon, I think in the third film, he's such a badass. But I felt that they didn't really use him like to the fullest. And I was like, damn, why isn't Prime really fighting him like one on one? Like I really wanted to see them go at it and stuff like that. But that whole scene when he's taking down the building and stuff like that, I was like, damn, that's freaking badass. Like it was really good. You can't believe Ben Affleck has a movie on Netflix and it's not being released theatrically. There you go. There you go. Beckham movies. I agree with you. There you go. That's proof of what's to come. If Netflix was to own the IP of DC, that right there is a perfect man. If I could pin this comment, I would. But yeah, that's the highlight. I'm telling you right now. Seriously, they have a Ben Affleck movie on Netflix and it's not even being released theatrically. There goes there. We promise you to release theatrically. Yeah, my ass. That's what I'm telling you. The lies of Netflix. The last night never explained how Megatron came back from being Galvatron. True, exactly. I agree with you. It never did explain that. Speaking of timelines, you see a new Marvel rumor. MCU wasn't the main timeline. Fox X Men is could be. Tons of timeline in X Men movies. Oh wow. Okay, here we go with the timelines. Who better, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers or Turbo? Nah, Mighty Morphin all day. I'm not interested in Turbo. Wheeljack, yeah, that was the freaking character. Do you think Jeremy Jones is getting old right now? Nah, I mean he's still doing his thing, so why not? What do you think about the Rip with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon? I haven't seen it. I gotta check it out. Hopefully, I do check it out soon. I'm used to Prime with the mouth guard. It's like seeing clean shaved Tony Stark. Yeah. Oh man, he was supposed to be Wheeljack in Rise of the Beast. Yeah, yeah, Wheeljack, man. Yeah, I passed on that toy in Ross, and I was like, yeah, I don't want that in my collection. Like that's how bad it was. Jackman is almost 60. Yeah, big time. Bro, in Age of Extinction, they bust through that major warehouse so badass. Yep, big time. Watch how the helicopter transformer and B and Prime bust through those huge windows and save Wahlberg. Yeah, yeah, I love all that. That's what I miss about these movies. Honestly, I feel like they should never show Prime without his mouth guard. Yeah, he does look weird. He really does look weird. Animated movie 86, Prime versus Megatron. Oh, okay, okay, okay. The 86 one. James Gunn should work at Burger King. Megatron was beating him up in the first Transformers. Yeah, big time. Supergirl doesn't stand a chance. Nope. Hell no. Against Avengers. Nope. I have a feeling it's going to do worse than Superman. Oh yeah, it is big time. Pierce Saffron will have no job and no home. He has money though, so yeah, all the money that they've been stealing from WB. McFarlane's in the process of making an '89 Joker. Will I get that one? Yeah, I'm gonna get that one too. That one's gonna be very hard to find, but when the pre-orders go up, hopefully I could get one. You know, if not, the scalpers are gonna have a field day with that. You remember watching Power Rangers 2017? Yeah, that was a good movie. I actually liked it. It had its little mistakes, but you know it could have been a lot better. We're still getting a GI Joe Transformers crossover, or is it canned? We are still getting it. They are not canceling. It hasn't been canned. It's still in the works though. I was reading something on that the other day. They are doing something animation, but that's not. It has nothing to do with the live action, but the live action is still happening. I'm gonna make a video about that soon because I was reading on it and stuff. But yeah, it's not canceled. It's for sure happening. They said. You have a Bane from the Batman Legend of the Dark Knight Kenner toy. Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, man, Kenner was a freaking good line. Do you think Paramount want Michael Bay will not use G1 Transformers? I don't think they're gonna go with the G1 style. I think they're gonna keep on going with what he already gave us and stuff. Netflix is full of crap. Yeah, big time. Unicron has to take over Earth in the Transformers movies. Yeah, he has to. I want to see him. I want to see them all go at it. Transformers needs a crossover with G.I. Joe and have Dwayne Johnson come back. Yeah, that would be nice. Tom Holland will be a winner in 2026 while James Gunn cries. I wish Power Rangers movie 2017 should have had sequels. It was supposed to. I wanted to see the real Green Ranger, how they were going to set up and stuff like that. He was in it too with Pink Ranger, the actor. Um, it's a shame, but it is what it is. You know, it's Hollywood. Hollywood. 2017 Power Rangers Zords were trash. Yeah, that's true. The Zords were real trash. I did not like them. Netflix CEO Ted, he's a boring person right now. Yeah, I like the ending of 2017 Power Rangers when they said Tommy Oliver name. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I was actually looking forward to that. I actually like their costumes. They had some real badass costumes. I know people were calling them like Iron Man and stuff, but I like that. That was actually dope. It fit the Power Rangers. I was like, yeah, that's how it should have been. But you know, it's a shame that they didn't really continue with it. Who knows why? You know, I feel that it had potential. They could have done a lot more. But again, you know, just the studio being the studio, you know, it just I don't comprehend how these studios own all these IPs and they don't really know how to use it and stuff like that. But it is what it is. Also, Momoa will flop. I know he's in another movie right now, in a comedy movie, I think. With what's his name, Dave Bautista. I'm not interested in even seeing that. Honestly, like I'm just like nah, just not my thing. Moana will flop. Yeah, Nolan's Odyssey. That's gonna make some money at the box office. Power Rangers 2017 is a good movie. Wasn't expecting it. Yeah, hope would love to get a sequel. The studio gave up on Power Rangers 2017. Yeah, they did. It's a shame. It's a shame, but it is what it is. Well, with that being said, my friends, I'm about to get going. I actually have to go do some stuff, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. All right, I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do another live stream and stuff like that. So, you know, till then, y'all keep posted, stay safe, have fun, and peace out.